Wow, this was so helpful. Thank you so much.
I'm glad
Thank
you.
you, Algistis. Thank you.
Hello, hello. How are you, my friend?
It's the same husband problems.
The thing is, we can't try to change the other person. As we say in Stoicism, there are some things you can control and some things you cannot. You know, nothing is for free. Okay. When women are supported by a man, as especially in the traditional fashion, relationships are an exchange of services. I mean, love is a nice added extra cherry on the top. When you're living with someone who's taking care of you or putting the bread on the table, paying for the lights and the rent, and I don't know what have you, you are at that point have put yourself in the situation of being an attendee of his. You are at his service. How to say? You are providing the caretaker, the nurturer, the feeder, the sex healer of a woman. Now, if you don't like that role, you have the choice. Either you will improve your situation by changing your mindset, reframing the situation, not taking anything personal, realizing it's his stuff, okay, and you just making your way around this for, or you will look at your next steps to move along if that is the case, if you feel you can get yourself a quote unquote a better situation. I'm looking at those two options for you.
Right. Yeah. Great
Either
advice. Thank
I
you.
you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
That's the cost of living for free in someone with someone who is providing. There's a cost. There's nothing for free, you know. We grow up sometime with a princess attitude, like the world owes us something. Zero of that. The world is a very harsh place, and
Right.
we have transactional relationships. You're giving me something, I'm giving you something. Do we have an equal deal here? More or less. I mean, these things fluctuate in any relationship over time, but it's important to look at our predicament, our situation. Now, as I said, you do have a plan extra, but what would be your plan B? Just if we're freely brainstorming here, what would be your plan B? Okay, there's no better
Right.
because
No, you're
every
you're
path
absolutely right.
has
Yeah.
its other side. You on the one hand you'll be free, on the other hand you'll probably be working 9 to 5
Got it. Yeah.
in someone else's I don't know, jewelry shop or whatever other.
Yeah.
As we say in Stoicism, there are some things you can control and some things you cannot. The things you can control are basically what's happening between your two ears, what's going on in here in this little room, in this space, you and your roommates, because your actual roommates are living in your head. The things you can control, actions you can take to have a plan B in your life. You see, these people, they challenge us. It's like, you know, it's like the Olympic athletes. They take on a challenge. You've taken on this challenge. Okay. It's your and they practice. They practice every day from morning till evening. They practice so they can become Olympic athletes. I feel that in a way, these people challenge us to become better versions of ourselves, better, stronger, more intelligent, happier versions of ourselves. I take that like since I'm not going anywhere, I don't have a plan B. There's no plan B that I'm interested in. It's not that you don't have options. You live in a civilized country. You're not tied to him. You're not in a
Yeah.
restricted country.
Yeah, totally.
Free country. There's even a
Yeah.
government that can take
Yeah.
care of you. You live in an advanced nation. There are jobs available. So
No children.
no children,
Mm.
you know, you have an exit if you wanted. So, but exits, as you understand, and that's probably why you're staying there, is exits have other downsides. There you're going to be
Right.
oh, my boss, my this, my new landlord, my new tenant. There's always going to be something because it seems to be that this is the nature of life. But the challenges don't have to be as harsh if we learn to manage them, if we learn to manage ourselves. So we don't get slapped on the face every time. We can dodge them, we can move around, we can say, okay, I'm surfing with this. This is my wave. It's coming. I'm going to surf this, you know. You view it as a sport, a mental sport, an Aikido type deal where you're constantly making mental flips, mental reframes that bring you closer to love, peace, joy, happiness, humor, whatever it takes. Maybe it's like, okay, I'm just gonna go take a walk around the block now. When you're free, the food's on the table, you know, that kind of thing. Like you have other ways to you've got to learn to manage yourself, manage your states, because that's really the only thing you can really be responsible for. You are being challenged to be
Yeah.
more attentive and mindful, even more than
Okay.
you are. You probably think you are. You know, when you go into a Zen Buddhist camp, you know, I have read the biography of someone who entered a Zen monastery. And this happened also in ancient Greece with the Pythagorean, you know, the special schools. In the first 4 years, you were not allowed to speak. You had to be
Wow.
silent
Oh my God.
and just learn to observe. I'd just like to remind you that if you have any questions to do with relationship or manifesting what you want, you're welcome to join my Wednesday Q&A. Observe what's happening, observe the energy, observe the balances. I mean, nowadays we all want to be Zen masters, we want to be enlightened, but we don't pay attention. We are not paying attention. So this person obviously needs you to pay more attention.
And I think I get pretty stressed easily too, but I just know that's not a strong suit. And
How about a metaphysical projection in the sense that maybe he's that part of you, this externalization of that part of you that doesn't manage their own stress? What if it were like, what if we were, as some philosophers and scientists tell us, what if we're in a magic hall of mirrors? What if we are this illusion that we're living in? I'm giving you just a total new reframe. And see, what if this is a dream we're walking through? Okay. And this person is a kind of reflection of that being inside of you that has anger issues, anxiety issues, and you just attracted him, same similar frequency. How does that
wow,
strike?
that sounds so possible. That sounds totally what could be happening. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I do tend to lean into this metaphysical worldview sometimes
Hmm.
when I can't reach something with my logic and it's not really making sense. I go whoop to a whole other level, and I'm like, what if this? And then it becomes a lot more interesting. It's like a waking dream.
Yeah.
Then you're like, look at this. I'm in the kitchen. Look at this. This person is walking in. This is an interesting dream. And you approach it with more curiosity. And there's a mystery because, you know, sometimes we get used to everydayness and we think, oh, this is so boring. I'm just washing dishes, eating, going shopping. But wouldn't it be so much more fascinating? Like if you realize that on some way, this is a kind of game simulation hall of mirrors thing, and I can only get to the next room, like the escape rooms, can only get to that next room once I figure decode this, solve this little enigma or this riddle, and then boom, I'm in a whole different room.
I love that.
I think one has to be playful. At least I do this. I mean, you know, I can't speak for everybody, but I do approach, and I myself here am a projection of that part of you that's thinking metaphysically, that's thinking philosophically, that's thinking stoically. I'm another part of you, Hall of Mirrors type thing. He's that, and you've manifested me. You pulled me out of the cyberspace, you've pulled me into your vortex.
Yeah, that makes total sense because, like there's so many people on the internet and I was so drawn to you right away. And yeah, okay. I love this. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah. So, but the thing is that we get caught up in the everydayness that we forget this mystery part. And we're like, you think you know who Alexis is. You think you know who John is or who George is. You think you know them, but what if they're like a being that's in disguise right there? What if they're like just they're also evolving in this mysterious game? And then it just becomes, it's like, wow, now this is a game. Now this is an escape room game. Now this is, and I don't mean you escaping from him. I mean, just
Yeah, no, I understand.
going to another interesting room. That's why I say, when things are happening, I pull back and I say, that's interesting. That's interesting. I find that I approach things with a curiosity that things are not what they appear to be. And then you can play. Then you can add humor. You could try humor. You could try the other. You could try, because what you're doing is you're just like navigating this interesting being that has appeared in your labyrinth. And
Yeah,
you're
I love
just, I don't know, then, but you also have to be working a little maintenance, what I call spiritual maintenance. Are you waking up in the morning, working on your affirmations, working on your vision of who you are, who you could become, how your life can become new level, next level? You know, how are you maintaining doing your spiritual gym, your practice? Because that's, I say in essence, really, if you really want to be serious, the work is going on all day. It's all day. It's practicing all day. We can let it go a little, but then if you're really a conscious person doing the work from morning till evening, you are a practitioner. And you're using everything, as the Stoics say, you throw it into your fire and it makes your fire more powerful. So I'll take that, I'll throw it into my fire, and my passion burns stronger for more wisdom, more knowledge, more energy, more potential, more excitement. I just use everything to fuel. I use it all as fuel. This is the Stoics speaking, but this is also the metaphysician speaking. All these schools that, for me, I mean, it all blends together. And I think that's interesting. I'll just throw that. That's interesting. And you need your breaks. I mean, you need to find how your energy is going to be, your vibration, how you're going to raise it. Because, when you're tested like that, your energy drops, correct? Your
you
energy
totally.
drops. You're like,
Yeah.
like the wind is out of you. So you
Oh,
have
oh my God, that's my analogy. Yeah, yeah.
is blown out of you, and you have to find a way to recoup. Is it a hot shower? Is it a walk around the block? Is it a thought? Because it doesn't always have to be a whole thing. It can be a thought. It could be to play your favorite song or meditation. You have to start recouping faster. Otherwise, you know how it drags your energy throughout the whole day. And that has
Right.
to do with your practice. Are you practicing enough that things don't take forever? They don't, they don't consume your whole day. You snap out of it faster than before. And he will be surprised. He will be surprised, like, oh, okay. They say no pain, no pain. You know how they say sometimes no pain, no gain? There's this thing that I read once. No pain, no pain. Like, sometimes they're expecting you to be upset, and you're like, no problem. It's off, done, finished. And they're like, what? Because I had that too. I have had that with some boyfriends, like I would say boyfriend, long-term companions. They would have their anger issues, because men have anger issues. That's for sure. They have more testosterone. Okay. They have
Big babies.
big babies, big babies. So they got their testosterone. They're used to acting out. Maybe it worked for them as a young person, but at least you know, you don't have a crying baby at night. How about those moms whose baby cries all night or at 3 a.m.? What Zen masters are they? You know what I mean? So we haven't had that. You haven't had children, but you can't
For
escape.
precisely that reason.
But you can't you see that you cannot escape some lessons.
Right. I
Some
see that. I
lessons
see
to
that.
be learned. Just because you thought you're going to get away scot-free, I'm not going to be a mom. No one's going to keep me up at night. No one's going to pull my nerves to the end. Thank you. No mommy things. Baby time. You know, you're still a mother in some way. You're still a guardian of someone's energy. You're still responsible for that person who in turn also gives you whatever he offers you, if that is.
Wow, this was so helpful. Thank you so much.
I'm glad
Thank you, Algistis. Thank you.
I'm honored that you trust me with your issues.
Oh, I think you're totally amazing.
Thank you, my love.
And I look forward to reading your comments. Please like and share with your friends on social media.